Hey guys, Casual Chrono here. In this video we are going to do a few minor upgrades for the team, and we are going to do a few pulls for the team. It is January 22nd US time, and it's late enough in the evening that the 1.30, I believe, update has come out. And that is the one, there we go, that has Kagurame. I think I pronounced that right. She is the anniversary character this year, tied to Chapter 5 of Sin and Steel, which I will probably play this weekend. Along with her, I believe we're supposed to get 10 Whispers of Salt, or, drops, whatever you want to call it. And I logged in earlier today, so I don't think I'm going to get my first one until the reset tomorrow, if I remember the notice right. In fact, I guess we have the notice here. Let's see. Right now, if you log in, you get 1,000 Chrono Stones for nothing. Yep, there's the 10 free encounters, and then afterwards you do get a guaranteed 5-star. You don't get to choose it, you just get a random 5-star and hope it's something worthwhile. The new chapter is out, Kagurame is released, and a bunch of other banners that are pretty much all paid are out right now. Look at that, that's paid. So right now, in fact, the only free stuff that's available, it's right here, paid. You seeing a trend here? All right. The final four banners, Kagurame, Eva, or Ava, I believe is how Scott pronounced it in his stream. I've always just said Eva, but I'll probably continue to say Eva. Forlorn Thespio, Alt Lokido, and Nikoko's Extra Style are all still available for free banners. So I have 5,000 stones, and I've really debated which way I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go ahead and spin them unless I just happen to actually get a banner character, in which case I'll save a few stones. But typically what I do is whenever a new banner appears, a new character, for example, I have Ava, so I'm not going to pull on her banner, but whenever a new character like Kagurame comes along, or Lokido Alt, I will just toss 2 10 pulls at them, just to see if I can get them. If I do, great. If not, I move on with life. I have a lot of other characters. And ever since they introduced this star trail system, where if you drop ridiculous amounts of stones, you get many more opportunities. The only one really that interests me, because all these star trail drops, it only gives you a 10% chance of getting that character, and they're not even Stellar Awakened. So to me, it's a 90% chance of disappointment, and on the 10% chance of success, you're still disappointed because you still have to Stellar Awaken them. So the only one that really ever interests me is the 5,000 one. Opuses, or Opi, whatever, they don't have a very high drop rate to begin with. They don't drop from the 2 key green dungeons at all. And there's like 17 or I guess 18 of them now, something like that. So, when you get that like 2% chance of an Opus dropping, then it's like 1 chance out of 18 that you get the one that you're really hoping for. So I can actually see, if I did 5 pulls for Lokido, I'm guaranteed 1 Opus. So then I only have to wait around for 2 more to drop. That's not that bad of a deal, in my opinion, if you're a free-to-play player. So right now, I could just do 5 pulls of Lokido, have 1 Opus, and then just hope for 2 more to drop eventually, and then I could get him. So that did tempt me, but that also means, because I only have 5,100 stones, that I won't be able to pull for Kagurame. At least not right now. I'd have to save up 1,000 stones. I guess technically I could get a single pull of her, but the chance of that kudos to those of you that actually do get characters on a single pull. I am not one of them. So I could do 5 pulls for Lokido, get one of his opuses, and then just have to collect 2 more. Or I can do 2 pulls for him, 2 pulls for Kagurame, and then have 1,000 stones saved up for whoever comes along next. And that kind of appeals to me more. I looked at Lokido, his main claim to fame, I guess, when he does his Valor chant, so when he appears, on the front line, he makes his grand entrance. But his Valor chant apparently is a very good one, and that's what you really want him for. Or when he swaps to the back line and then moves to the front line. So, and I'm the type of player that I just want my 4 frontline characters to deal with whatever I'm dealing with, and my 2 reserve characters to hold Grasta. I'm not, I did the whole Valor chant swapping back in the day. I moved characters to the reserves to build up mana regen, and I'm done with that playstyle. So his one gimmick is not something I'm that anxious about, and honestly, I have, at the moment, 211 characters. I have most of the meta characters that, I could want. I don't have Yakumo still. That's could be the running gag until end of service, I'm sure. That's the one character that will escape my team, forever and ever. But, I have a lot of the heavy hitters. I have Sesta, I have Shanghua, things like that. And while I can't do her extra style, I know that over time, where we go? Like I've gotten 1 treatise so far. I can buy 2 more. So if 2 more drop, I can eventually get her. So a lot of the big characters, I can get. The kind of the benefits, I guess, of playing since pretty much day 1 or week 1. I have a lot of characters. So I think what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to stick with my guns. I am going to do 2 pulls for Lokido. If I get them, great. If not, I'm done. I'm not going to sink the other 3,000 stones into getting his opus. And then I will do 2 pulls for the new character, Kagurame. And if I get her, great. If not, I move on with life. From what I have read so far, and I think we're all still kind of, it's very new. The update happened just an hour ago. So we're all kind of learning either if she's a broken, insanely awesome character or if she's just kind of a tank. But she seems to be like a tank support type character, and I have a lot of tanks. Aside from Yakumo AS, I have pretty much every decent tank in the game. So I think I'm just going to save some stones. I'm going to do 2 pulls of each, and then I have been collecting some treatises, codexes, etc. I have a few characters I plan on upgrading here in the Space-Time Rift. And then an old favorite who I used a lot back in the day, I plan to Stellar Awaken that character. So, long intro, sorry about that. It's been a while since I've done like a pull type of video, but let's go ahead and see how good or bad my luck is. And for the first time ever, I am actually hoping to get Palm. Yes, you heard that right, Palm. And that is because, actually I should just sort. My Palm has 199 light points. And that means at 200, I gain an extra Grasta slot. And she's a magic user, and I have a lot of magic users, so I could really use that extra slot for shared Grasta. So, for the first time, and possibly last time ever, I'm hoping that at some point I get Palm. Otherwise, you can see my next highest ones, like 191, 165, they're nowhere close to 200. And if I sort by shadow, no one is close. I need to reset that filter. Nero is my highest shadow character, 148, and he's a fist user. So, Fine is probably my closest magic person. Well, not probably, she is. And I have been running Jasmine a lot, so she's been slowly skilling up, but yeah. So here is up to 4 pools, 2 for Lokido, 2 for Kagurame, and cross your fingers, maybe Palm will appear. So pool number 1, here goes Lokido. Free stones, because I am a free-to-play player. Alright, door number 1, Raven. He actually has a lot of shadow points too. He's probably due for a side grade upgrade one of these days. I did it! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, 4,000 stones, and first pull, I have a 200 light point Palm. Oh, what's this? Is it Lokido? No, it's Shani. Oh, get my hopes up. I'm not even sure how many light points she has. She is Stellar Awakened, I think, so that did not help me any. So a gold door spook. Alright, I've lost count already. I think this is door number 9. Probably that door number 10 is usually a silver door. Chio. Alright, so I got a gold door, but it's Shani. But I got Palm, so I can enhance my magic teams even further. Alright. One more pull, and then we are done with Forlorn Thespian. And we will move on to Kagurame. Miranda, there's one I've pretty much never used. Rufus, I do have him Stellar Awakened, his AS form. Barely ever use it, but I do have it. Alright, some sisters and robots. Benedict. Not sure how many shadow points he has. I think it's a lot. Nonold. Now he's over 120, I think, or at least he's definitely over 80, so whenever he gets his Stellar Awakening, I'm good to go there. This one's not so good of a pull. And door number 10, May. Alright, so that one was a pretty much dud all around. Alright, so no Lokido altar for me. I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and collect 3 opuses. Or opi? Opuses. We'll go with opuses. Alright. Skipping Ava. Moving on to Kagurame. And we're going to do 2 pulls, and then we're done. We're going to save 1,000 stones for the future. This is not a limited banner. They don't do that in this game, so it's always possible I can get spooked by a 4-star of her in the future. So I'm not, you know, if I get a 4-star, I'm also done too. I'm happy to spend time side grading. All right, door number 1. Sister. Yakuzi. There's another character I pretty much never use. Miyu. I used her a lot back in the day. Still use her ES form on occasion. Arena. Another one I don't really use that much. Coot. Alright, Silver Door. Sayuka. Coot again? I mean, what's the chance of that happening? And Raven again? What's the chance of that happening? Alright, this is probably door number 10. 7. Used him for a little while. Alright, nothing particularly exciting there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, last pull for this evening before we get into the guarantees. And even if I don't get her, even if I lose like 4,000 stones, first, I got Palm. Second, it's a game. I really try hard not to let it bug me. Yakumo bugs me a little bit, to be honest, as many stones as I've sunk in for him. But these characters, if I get them, great. If not, they might spook me in the future. Not that concerned about it. It's a game. We're supposed to have fun. All right, silver door. And door number 7, maybe? Another May again. Door number whatever. It's like the same characters. I swear, I wonder if like all over the world, like it is 8:55 Central Time. If someone else clicks this door at the exact same moment as I do they get the exact same character? Is that how it's randomized? I have no idea. All right. Oh, I thought that was door number 10. Okay, so this will be door number 10? All right. No gold doors, so no essays for me today. Door number 10 is Myron. Haven't seen her in a while. All right. So one shiny spook and otherwise nothing. And this Star Trail, at 5,000, I can get the tome, but tomes aren't really that hard to get, so I don't really feel pressured into, with the stones I get in the future, I don't really feel pressured into trying to get 5,000 for her. The only reason I was thinking about for Lokido is because opuses are pretty rare. All right, well, pools, no luck. I'm just curious now. Shani, sword user. Let's see, that put her at 50. So that does give me some more Stellar Awakening points to play with. Okay, so not a complete waste of time. Not that I really use her, but hey, more Stellar points are more Stellar points. Okay, so happy about Palm, meh about the rest, but now is the guaranteed time. So what I've been doing when I get my red keys and green keys, my green keys lately have been going to Jasmine, and my red keys have been just kind of being used all over the place. Lately, I've been working on Sinya's, actually I can just show you. I've been working on Sinya's Shadow. He has 51. This particular update, apparently either during Chapter 5 or after Chapter 5. I think it was after. I think they said it was in the Astral Archives. But Sinya is due to get his Stellar Awakening, finally. Oh, and it's right there. Izengani? Okay. His star charts. I guess, so I guess he has a stellar ability. Let's see. Shade type attacks. Risk taker. Very strong. Okay. So he can deploy an awakened shade zone at battle start in the front, as long as only shade characters are in the front. So he can fit in nicely to a shade team, and there aren't that many shade zone deployers right now, so that's pretty good. 2+ shadow allies. Shadow is stored. Katana characters. He'll probably be the only one. Does his stellar... doesn't deploy a zone, so unless they gave him a new skill, which I'm unaware of, I don't think he deploys a shade zone, so we still need someone like Iffy or someone who can, and he doesn't have a way to reawaken it over and over again for now. I'm still betting that he's going to get his little sidekick by the time we're all done with it. All right, anyway, next up. So with my red keys, green keys, I have slowly been collecting, as usual. The characters I still cannot do, El Seal AS, her Kamina style, I have 3. I need 5. Yes, I could run to the Emporium and buy the last 2, but I've been using my gems pretty much on star charts. So I can upgrade her when I want to, but I don't have a need, so I'm just waiting for the other treatises to drop. So I can't do her yet. Nikoko, I have 2 codexes. I need 3 before I run off to the Emporium if I had to. So getting there with her. And Sesta, as I showed you earlier, despite all this time, only 1 treatise has dropped. Which makes me sad because I promote the heck out of Sesta. I think she's a beyond broken character. Now, that said, every other character you see here, I can side grade. And I have a bunch of chance. I say a bunch. I have 38. So I could upgrade a lot of them. I've chosen, I really debated between doing 4, 3, and 2. I've decided to stick with 2 for now. First of all, chance. Just my personal philosophy. You never know when an older character is going to get a stellar awakening, and it's always helpful to have at least 5 chance handy just to make them into a 5-star character if they aren't. Because a 5-star character, when the update hits, it gives them 1 out of 3 stellar awakening levels. So I always keep at least 5 chance handy just for that purpose. And then, Yakumo. If I ever pull a 4-star Yakumo, I can take 5 chance, immediately 5-star him, I can take 5 more chance, and I can immediately side grade him to AS. So 10 chance are reserved for Yakumo for the one day, probably in 2028 when he drops. I will admit, if for some type of an anniversary gift, if they ever allow us to choose any character, I'm choosing Yakumo. It's just going to happen, which guarantees they'll probably never make that kind of an offer for an anniversary gift. But so 15 chance are kind of set aside. So the remaining chance I use on whatever characters I feel like it, because it's a game and we should have fun. So the characters I heavily debated and decided not to last minute were Lingley. In fact, I scratched her right before I started recording. So I think she's going to be a great complement for Rufus AS, and I do have him Stellar Awakened. But I kept looking at her kit, and aside from pairing her with Rufus, whom I never use, I didn't really see me using her for anything else. My fire team is mostly Shadow, and she is Light, and I don't really use fist users, blunt users that much. So I decided I can always upgrade her later. So I decided there's no reason for me to upgrade her right now. And then oldie but goodie, Mariel. Her High Priestess. I could upgrade it. I've had a bunch of treatises for a long time, and the only reason I would consider it, because she's not a particularly powerful character, but she has a revive skill. She's one of the very few characters, like her and Tetra. If one of your characters gets knocked out during the fight, she can revive them, and that's very, very rare. So I thought it'd be fun to get the High Priestess form, if nothing else, just for that skill to play around. But ultimately, I have Tetra. I couldn't really justify it, and I never know what's coming up in the future, so I figure I can always upgrade her later if I get like 40, 50 chance scripts, but I really considered her. So, who am I upgrading today? The first is one that I've been chasing some codexes for a while. I finally got 3, and I was like, yes, I could go to the Emporium and buy 2 more, but I'll just wait until I do my recording. Well, during that waiting time, I got 3 more. So, ladies and gentlemen, I now have Shigure ES style. And very excited about that. The other character that just dropped today was Tsubami's 3rd opus finally dropped, the Felis Lord opus. So, Primaya has been sitting on 2 forever. And Lokido, of course, I have none of his. And I've been keeping track. My New Year's resolution this year, I actually have a spreadsheet, and I'm keeping track of all red key dungeon drops and rare rooms, opus drops, treatise drops, chant scripts, etc. Because the wiki always talks about like 20% chance of drops and things like that. And I've always kind of sort of doubted a few of them, particularly Toto's Theater World, that some people rave over and other people are frustrated with. And I will say offhand, I'm going to bring up my data sheet now. I've been tracking how many red keys I use, how many rare rooms I get, how many chants from rare rooms I get, how many treatises, codices, and opuses I get, how many light or shadow points I get, how many white key gates I get, how many end chants I get, that 0.05 or whatever, 0.5% chance of a chant at the end of a run. So far I've gotten none of those. I've been recording which dungeon it is, because some dungeons drop tomes and some dungeons don't, so I wanted to be able to do calculations, with that, and so forth. And as of right now, actually, I'm going to bring up a calculator. I know you can't see this. I figure I'm going to post in Reddit once January is over, the January data. That way all you math people can pore over the data yourselves and come up with your own conclusions. But as of right now, 1/22, I have done 148 red key runs, and I've gotten, we'll take it this way, 30 light points. So 30 divided by 148. I'm running exactly a 20.27027 chance of getting a light or a shadow point at the end of a run. And that does fit in with what the wiki says. So right now, I'm in agreement with that. And then treatises, 44 have dropped for me out of 148 runs. So I'm getting a treatise about 30% of the time. Now, that's not per slot. That's just once I do a run and the 3 rewards are at the end, 30% of the time, at least one of those is a treatise. Sometimes more than one, sometimes 0, but and I haven't really questioned that one. As I said, the only major question I have had so far is Toto's Theater World, because I did 140 some runs a while back. Maybe not 140, it was like 120. It was a couple summers ago, and my drop rate for light shadow points was like 8%. And everyone's like, oh, it's 20 or 24%. And I'm like, no, I did the math, it's 8. And that was being extremely generous. And I was running with multiple characters that could get light. And so I'm hoping that we can do like a paired t-test, all that kind of stuff, and actually figure out what the real drop rate is for Toto's Theater World, because in my opinion, it is not 20%. That's really one of the main reasons I'm doing all this, but New Year's resolution. Anyway, so I will be posting in Reddit the January data, probably February 1st or 2nd, and let you all see for yourselves. But that was a very long tangent to click the select button right here and click on use. And yes, I now have Tsubame Alt. Neither one, of course, are Stellar Awakened, but I'm not sure if I'm going to Stellar Awaken them or not, because all Cosmos Star charts are pretty rare. But I have the character. I can still use them.
Not just a girl? I suppose this outfit does give me away. I will have to keep that under consideration. Well, there is no point in keeping up the ruse now, is there? As you might have guessed, I'm a Kunoichi from the east.
Kunoichi? Ooh, I can pronounce that word.
I cannot tell you who I work for, but I have a feeling there is a reason for our meeting. Please, allow me to join you.
Sure thing.
And do not worry, I need no protection. I am a shinobi from Ouya. I can hold my own.
I would have pronounced that Ouya. Ouya. Anyway. So, that also means, yay, character quests. So, I have a few now to play with. Alright, so I have those two characters. The last one, as promised, we're headed over to the Emporium. I would have bought, and I think those of you that know the release know who this is, I would have bought the star charts already, except that there is the very, very, very slight chance that Ava would have appeared in the 4 pools that I did earlier, and if she had, I would have wasted 400 gems, and I have just over 800. However, Drago Mirage, I need 2. I am buying 2. I have 30 gems left. I am going to Ava here, Stellar. She had 1 because she was already 5-star, and never, never, never use all Cosmos star charts on the characters that you can buy for. Use the bot star charts, Drago Mirage. So we are going to awaken, yes, Eva. And she has 36 light, and I have enough to bring her to 80 if I feel the need for that. I will probably at least bring her to 50. But as you may have noticed, I've already been playing around with potential team compositions for her. And I plan on making a whole separate video focused on her. I might even, because I used her so much when I was, years ago. She was one of the regular characters I paired with Alma because she was able to buff Crystal and debuff Crystal resistance. So there's water type Crystal attacks went up when Lunatic higher, and Crystal resistance decreases and stacks and attacks again. Well, some of her changes, I don't know if I want to pair her with Alma anymore or a Crystal team, because a lot of her skills now, if you are in a magic zone, then her skills got buffed. So there's another one. And then she has a manifest weapon, which I will also be making a video about here very soon. So she wants to be in a magic team, not a Crystal team, which does make me a little bit sad. And for magic users, I have a few. Let's switch this. Impel can drop a magic zone. Where is he? Shion Alt can drop a magic zone, who I have access to. Both Shions and Impels are preemptive as well, which could be very, very helpful. Right now, the only way I can reawaken a magic zone is with Xianghua. She can reawaken a magic zone infinitely. She and Yakumo are the only 2 characters that I know of that can do that. There might be a pet, but I'm pretty sure it's just them 2. So, and I don't have Yakumo, so my only choice is Xianghua, which does kind of break my rule. I like to have 1 DPS, 2 support characters, and a tank. And right now I have 2 DPS and 2 support and no tank. So I'm not sure if this team is going to be great, but just initial thoughts on Ava. She wants a magic zone, so you want to pair her with people that can buff magic and staff and int and stuff like that. Personality-wise, she is a dragon, and so for Grasta holding, Geru is a staff user and also has a dragon personality, so he seems like a very natural choice for either Almighty Power Dragon or Sound Body Dragon if you have it. And if you're one of those people that runs, I think it's Present Garulia that gives him his skill ups. Yeah, I think Ancient is Azami. Anyway, if you have run it a lot and have 200 shadow points, then he would be a great person, because then you have 4 Grasta slots that could buff Ava up. So anyway, we'll get to Ava in another video, but now I'm very excited. I have Ava Stellar Awakened. And for skills, I have 40 stellar points, so we are going to go ahead and unlock, of course, her stellar ability. which is a huge crystal magic attack. It is a barrier piercer. You do not have to be in Stellar Burst. It's just a natural barrier pierce, like Twin Blade Wolf, for example. So I'm very excited about that. I love me some barrier piercing. If you Stellar Burst with her, she basically copies everything she does, which means, attacks that normally attack twice might attack 4 times, attacks, that attack once, attack twice, and everything. So I think a lot of her attacks also, her buffs and debuffs, depend on more than one attack getting off. And if she's in Lunatic to start, which I believe is... maybe that's just one of her passives now. I think if she's in the front line at the start of the fight, she's automatically lunaticked for 1 turn, which means she doppels for 1 turn. So anyway, so battle start in front line. She gets 2 barrier piercing moves with this branch. And now she gets 4 barrier piercing moves. So right off the bat, she, as a Stellar Awakened character, has 4 barrier piercing moves and doppel, which means if she attacks once, she attacks twice. And if she's in a Magic Zone, a lot of her attacks attacked twice because of Magic Zone, which means an attack that attacks twice in a Magic Zone, while lunaticked, wouldn't that mean it attacks 4 times? And that would be the 4 barrier piercing moves. So imagine, right off the bat, using one of those skills. So I think she's going to be really interesting to play with. I'm hoping to get a character development video with her soon. All right, dragon allies in the front line. I do not have many dragon allies besides Garu. I think was Aldo a dragon? We'll check in a second. And then activate on spell numbers when light power is greater. So she wants to be in a light-oriented team. Everyone gets a damage barrier. That's kind of ho-hum. If you're short on points, I'm not sure how much I'd care about that section. And since there's so few dragon characters, I'm not so sure I would go that way. So if you're short on stellar points, go for Finish Draco and go for Enhance, and then whatever else you want. I love getting characters unlocked to level 100, so that is always the next thing I do. And sometimes I will do that while sacrificing one of those types of trees. And then I have 10 points left, so do I want hit points? Do I want magic points? Or do I want stats for the most part? I believe she does get Mind's Eye, which improves her damage based on her magic. So an MP of 80 would increase her damage. However, dead people do no damage, so I've always kind of favored hit points. Stats, 5 extra points of stats. Yeah, intellect is nice. Yeah, a little bit of survivability, but you know what? Let's just make her survive right now. Chances are I'm going to chuck a few guiding lights on her and open up some more of the tree later anyway. So that puts her at over 4,000. I always level Stellar Awakened characters to 81 for no other reason except that when I go to the board, if I sort by level, all my Stellar Awakened characters appear first. So there she is. And I'm at 212 characters now, thanks to getting Alter Tsubame. So, let's see. I think that pretty much covered everything I wanted to do. Really quick, let's see what dragon characters I do have. Oh, more than I thought. Alright, Aldo, Riz, Claude. Oh yeah, I forgot about Claude. Palaka, Tiramisu. Okay, now that said, the only magic-using character that I have is Garu, so he would make the most sense for a pairing. It said that she would prefer magic zones or possibly water zones. Riz is water. Earth, thunder, I think Tiramisu is earth. I really don't use her that often. A lot of people use her for farming, but All right, so of my characters, Garu makes the most sense. Riz possibly being a water user. The other characters really don't seem to jive with her too much. But that's what experimentation is for later. So that concludes my attempt at pulls and my upgrades for now. I hope I didn't bore you all too much, but that's kind of my line of thinking, and now I have 1,000 stones left over for whatever is coming in the future. We know that Tuva is getting a Stellar Awakening at some point. We know that Cuervo and Nonold are coming soon. I'm assuming that Nonold will be Stellar Awakened naturally through the quest or the story that is going to involve him. Cuervo will probably be a gotcha pull, whatever his AS form is. Tuva will probably be back in the Emporium. We can probably buy her tomes, which means I need to save up 770 no-pal gems before Tuva is released, if I want to get her right away. So yeah, that's kind of the logic of my upgrades and saving on chance and all of that. I hope this video helps you in your decision making. Casual Crono, signing out.